see a kid get a couple extra sessions.
I went and saw him on Thursday. Okay, so this is even before you were talking about me, but he's been texting me because he's like, hey, I hear that guy's ripping on you on the radio.
Yeah.
And he says, remember, you're not just representing yourself, you're representing me.
That's
so,
right.
like, you got to get out there. So I'm telling you.
So if you don't win, you can't fix your swing.
Well, I'm not like Barkley, for God's sakes. And what is this crap I'm hearing secondhand that you think I'm running for office and all I do is shake hands and kiss babies and hand out campaign buttons? I mean, that's true. You know, if you ask any of the staff at the wonderful Great Bay Country Club, they all know me. Hey, Pete. Hi, Pete. How are you?
You'll be out there doing everything. Everything will be on your mind except for the actual game itself,
which is fine.
And especially, I'm under the impression that if you shank a couple balls or miss a couple easy putts, or when it happens.
What do you mean when?
When it happens,
yes,
you're going to get all discombobulated and you're going to get all pissed off, and it's going to wreck your game.
No, they have this magic tonic. It's a magic potion. It's called Transfusion. I mean, they're so popular that they actually sell them off the golf cart now.
Former Philadelphia Philly Tommy Green will be playing with us. Former Flyer Brian Propp. Sean Landetta might come down and say hi.
Do we get a hold of him?
Landetta?
We're efforting?
Well, he said he didn't want to play, but he wouldn't mind coming down and sitting on the set.
Oh, I'm totally fine with that.
So we're gonna have a lot of fun. That's
you realize Landetta goes 30th. Back to the Stars, man.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to a Philadelphia Stars
game? No, because I was living I went to school in North Carolina right after high school in 1980 and 81.
Did I know
And then
that?
after that, I moved down to Florida where I worked at Disney World. I drove the monorail.
You did?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard Monorail Blue of the Walt Disney World monorail system. My name is Bill, and I'll be your pilot and host. While aboard Monorail Blue, I do ask that everyone please remain seated and refrain from all smoking. Our next scheduled stop is the Magic Kingdom Station. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now making our final approach to the Magic Kingdom Station. Please look around, gather all your personal belongings, assist all small children firmly by the hand, and watch your head and step as you disembark.
I can't.
I remember that after 40-something years?
I would imagine some of you said it every single stinking night. My dear Lord, that's the closest you ever came to being an actual pilot.
Well, that's gave my brother the impetus to becoming a pilot.
What, you driving the monorail led him to become a pilot?
When we went down there, Pete, you have to go to school for 2 weeks to learn how to drive, to learn how to operate, not drive it because it's on a beam.
Okay.
So you're not steering.
True.
But there's a lot of stuff that goes in. They have an annunciator panel on the back of the thing with all these buttons, just like a cockpit in an airplane.
All right. Wait. Oh, so your brother did it as well?
Yeah. Both of us did.
I see. And then he went on to glory as a pilot, and you are you.
And I went to radio.
Right. Radio. What do you think of that? Hey, that's funny. Well, that now explains, like, I never understood why you kept saying you ran into Mike Schmidt one time.
Yes.
At the monorail.
I was working the turnstile at the Polynesian one night.
Oh, okay.
And
you weren't piloting the monorail?
Well, you shift. You move around.
Okay.
All right. And so if you work an 8-hour shift,
say that word very carefully. Don't get all Billy and excited and say it too fast.
Now, if you work an 8-hour shift, you'll drive maybe 3 of those hours.
Okay. Right. Very interesting.
Very interesting. System. They've got all kind of checks and balances. So I'm at the Polynesian. And there was a baseball, something for the Major League, for MLB was doing something there. Mike Schmidt was there, Gary Carter, a bunch of baseball people. I can't remember. But I was at the turnstile at this particular time at the Polynesian, and here I'm away from home, I'm a little homesick.
Yeah. And there's Mike.
And here comes Mike Schmidt comes walking up with his wife, and I said, "Oh, it's great to see somebody from home." And he walked right by me.
He didn't even acknowledge. He didn't acknowledge that you were even speaking.
He didn't say hi.
Yeah.
And he didn't do anything.
Yeah. Now, did you chase him down and say I was talking to you?
No, I couldn't. I was standing there. I took his ticket.
Yeah.
I looked at it. I said, "Hey, it's just super to see somebody from home."
That's all you said.
That's all I said. And his wife, the look on her face was I'm sorry. And
sorry that you talked to him and got back what you got back.
And then 5 minutes later, here comes Gary Carter.
Right.
And
now he acknowledged you, right?
Not only did he acknowledge me, I told him what Mike Schmidt did to me. He broke my heart.
All right. And he was a warm.
And
how are you going to tell a story
and take
how are you going to tell a story and take a drink at the same time? You have to let me talk before you do that.
I can multitask there, Pete.
Is that what that was?
It is.
Sure.
Pete, so you're going to go down. I'm going to beat your butt. And you shot a 111 last week. Is that right?
No. That's 2 weeks ago on the 111. And listen, I've got a whole training regimen in place here.
Okay.
I'm playing in the Jack Thomas Memorial Open.
Which you invited me to play in, and then you pulled me from it.
Yeah, because you're not good enough. Yeah. I mean, that's
and you are?
the truth. No, I'm not. But when you are playing in a scramble, I'm sure you've played a bunch of scrambles in your life, correct?
Yes.
When you're playing in a scramble, what's your key to success?
Yep.
For you to be the D player. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm organizing.
You want to contribute along the way.
I want to contribute. It's my team. I want to organize the team, but I want to be the D player. If I'm the best player on the team, we're not winning.
Exactly.
So in that Jack Thomas Memorial Open, which is Monday, October 25th at noon at Great Bay Country Club, of all places, okay? And it's hosted by Charlie's, right?
Right.
That Open, I have Scott Dunn. Remember Scott Dunn?
Yes,
works at Great Bay Country Club, right? I've got Aaron Beta, right? He runs Golf Specific Fitness, okay? And I've got Sean Fawcett, who's a teaching pro and writes for Shore Local with me. So all three guys have given a golf lesson before in their life, and then me. So not only am I going to play in that scramble,
you don't invite somebody to play and then pull them. You invited me to play, got me all excited.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. We were at Great Bay when you asked me.
You as a possible name. That was before you stuck me with the bill.
Stuck you with what bill? I didn't stick you with a bill.
Oh, that's right. It was on the Underhill account. Mrs. Stanwyck.
It was on the Underhill.
Mrs. Stanwyck, it's Ted Underhill. I'd like to discuss this.
So now,
bill.
Pete, we started taking people predictions. They could pick you or pick me.
And how are you set that up on
Twitter? There were a few people that have already texted in for me, for you. I still have that information saved. The winners will get 97.3 ESPN Locker Room T-shirt.
Nice. Very good.
Is that cool?
They are good T-shirts. I worked out in that T-shirt yesterday.
Well, I gave you a gray one and a white one.
Yeah, but I need another X. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm not. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding.
There's so much cotton in the state of in the Jersey.
Find another one. I mean, I need another X. There's not enough X's in it. Find another X. I need another X. My belly was starting to show. I don't want my belly hanging out.
Definitely don't want that.
But I'm excited. Guys out there working me out.
I'm excited. We have golf. We're going to have this tournament. We're going to have this contest. And by the way, Scott McKay is he's going to be the commissioner. So he's going to run it to where you and I are going head to head, and then we're going to have team play.
Let's get the clip of Caddyshack where Lou, the caddy master, is out there going, gentlemen, this is a match. Winner takes all. There's no gambling at Bushwood. Let's who's in what cart? I'm going to be that too. You're going to be with Scott McKay. I am.
I'm going to be with Tommy Green.
Okay.
Tom Jackson is going to be with Brian Propp.
Okay.
Radio Ron Ralston and Mark Grimes.
Oh, very good.
Grimes, he's playing.
All right, nice.
And he starts ripping me yesterday.
Good, as he should.
Well, listen. I don't know what he shoots. And I asked him 3 times in a text message. Hey, Grimesy, what do you shoot? He never got back to me. So did
he say like ducks, quail, pheasants occasionally?
Let's get the chirping going. I want to hear some chirping. I like it.
I have no problem chirping.
October, great month. A lot of sports. Everything's going on. Hockey started, the NHL. We'll talk a little Flyers in the second half. We're going to be on the other side. We're going to talk to Scott Grayson to get his thoughts on the Eagles game Thursday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then, of course, in the second hour, the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. I want to remind people that the Locker Room and Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles game day meal during the Eagles season on game day. Get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the Locker Room. Get down to Blitz's all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitz's now has online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or call them at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home of the dill pickle hoagie. It's really a big deal. Now, there's no Eagles game today.
I was going to say.
But it's your NFL game day.
I would still say if you went down and mentioned the Locker Room today, they're going to get the deal, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And they've been selling. By the way, they've had 4 or 5 people already come down, and I even got a text message that their hoagies are so good. And now that they just get them in there, you get the hoagie. Now you realize how good the Blitz's hoagies are.
I like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Want to remind people the first hour of the Locker Room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, with the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you. With 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA, that's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. My Winter Watchdog. Have you heard about New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road? Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or email Debbie at mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with Scott Grayson. You're listening to The Locker with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN, and the mobile app. And, of course, this time every Saturday, every Sunday, we go to our guy in the know. So without any further ado, let's go to the Barb's Harley Davidson Sports Hotline and welcome into the locker room. You can read him on 973ESPN.com. He's the Fox News sports anchor. He's our guy, Scott Grayson. Welcome into the locker room, Scotty.
Hey, what's going on, Billy? Another Sunday. You know what? I think we need no games today because what we saw, Thursday night was brutal.
And by the way, I was in the stands Thursday night, and
yeah, you're 0-3. Stop going.
It's my last game, Greg.
Stop going.
Were you booing?
No, you know what? No, I was not booing. But I will tell you something that I thought was pretty funny, that when Miles Sanders broke that 23-yard run, how the reaction from the crowd, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, a little sarcastic cheer. That never hurts in Philadelphia.
I'll tell you what, Scott, looking back at this game now, when you go to the game and you're there live, obviously you see a certain amount of replay, but you don't get the benefit of watching it on TV where you can I recorded it, so I've watched the game 3 times in its entirety, and you get to see things the second and third time around that you didn't see when you're there live. And the game was boring to watch. The first half was, it was 21-7 at halftime, and I don't think the Eagles' defense, they looked like they were getting punched in the mouth, and they were getting beat off the line of scrimmage. It looked to me like Tampa Bay dominated the line of scrimmage, and our linebackers are god awful.
They are. It's we've talked about it. It's a position on the team that gets the least amount of attention from Howie Roseman, and it shows, and that's fine if you have strength around all of that can compensate. And quite frankly, that's what they've been able to do in the past, but they're not doing it right now. And I blame partially the scheme. You look at these corners. You have two good corners in this league, and Darius Slay and Steven Nelson, and they're playing 8 yards off receivers.
Yeah,
with a quarterback who's like working on 2 Hall of Fame careers at the same time. What are we doing? I just don't understand the philosophy. I don't understand the scheme, if there is one. I don't understand what they're trying to do up front. If you noticed late in the game, and if you did watch it 2-3 times, you probably did pick up on this. They were bringing a 5th rusher more in the fourth quarter, and look what it did. It forced high throws. It forced an interception. There were good things that came from it, and but you can't wait till the fourth quarter to decide to do that. So I think there is a little bit of growing pains that have to go on for Nick Sirianni and Jonathan Gannon as coordinators. But look, in the NFL, you don't have time. You don't have the luxury of time to figure it out. You have to start figuring it out, and you at least have to start showing that you're taking 1 step forward week to week, not 2 steps back. And right now, through 5 games. Or 6 games at this point, I'm not sold. In fact, I wrote this in my grades. I'm out on Nick Sirianni as the offensive coordinator. I'm done.
Well, before we get to the offense, because to me, I'm not. That's the least of my concern. I look at the offense as a work in progress, because if you look at the average age, it's like 22.5. All our skill players are young. They're developing. I like. We'll get to that in a second. I want to go back to the defense, because what I noticed in the replay of the game, that we were getting dominated at the line of scrimmage. We were getting punched in the mouth, and our linebackers. I mean, those players, when you're running the ball, going right at the team, and you're getting beat, and Singleton's making tackles 5 and 10 yards down the field, the players know it. They know they're getting physically manhandled.
Oh, they do. And I think if you looked at it, you saw that the Bucs offensive line, they knew they had control. And their body language said that they knew that the Eagles weren't going to be able to do much on that defensive line or with their linebackers. And it wasn't until they started taking their foot off the gas that the Eagles were able to start doing something. And then, I think that had a lot to do with the Eagles being able to make it a game in the fourth quarter or late third. But the problem is they're just not getting the pressure they need, and the linebackers. They take the wrong angle to
They take the wrong angle to the player, to the runner. They can't shed blocks. They don't fill gaps. They don't anticipate a play. They just look lost.
They do. And they're not making tackles. They're tackling high, and they get, of course, then pushed off, and it missed. I mean, Alex Singleton had 15 tackles. Now, why is that? Because he's running downfield, 10 yards to go make the tackle. That's why. It's not that he's filling a gap and dropping somebody for a loss. It's a problem. And I liked Alex Singleton at the end of last year. I felt like we got a better effort from him at that point, and I felt like he was a better player. I don't know whether it's his scheme, whether it's his coaching staff, or whether he just got a little too big of an ego. But he's not the same player he was.
Yeah, I just, Philadelphia's we've been known for our defense, Scott. You know what I mean? We've always had that rough, tough guys playing downhill, Philadelphia tough defense. It's just embarrassing, man.
Yeah, it is. It's not what we're used to. It's not what we're used to here. Not at all.
We're talking with Scott Grayson, Fox 29 News. Of course, you can follow him on Twitter at @SGrayson, Fox 29. Now, listen to the offense, Scott, because, Jalen Hurts and that offense was anemic on Thursday night. But how many screens are we going to see? How many wide receiver screens are we going to see?
Well, I mean, it looked to me like Tampa knew exactly what was coming. Whether it was and look, at this point, if you guess RPO, you're going to be right 50% of the time, and the other 50% of the time you guess screen out in the flat, and you're going to make those plays. And that's honestly, and it's different people. You can play both at the same time. Your corners come up and they're ready to make that break when they see the receiver take that one step back off the line of scrimmage. It's predictable. It's plain. It's vanilla. There's nothing creative about it. There is no sense of running something to set something up in the second or third quarter. Running out again. And then you fake the out and you go up and you get a wide open receiver downfield because the corner bites on the out. You're not doing anything to work towards doing something else. And I'm not seeing any change in that week to week. And I'm not seeing, quite frankly, everybody loved one thing Andy Reid always did really well was his first 15 plays were scripted well, and he usually found success. I don't even know if Sirianni's scripting 15 plays.
Is he scripting any?
I don't think he's scripted anything. There's no. It's what it's like, Grayson. It's like when you played football, touch football in the street. You say, go down to that car, and make a left.
Yeah,
cut across the middle.
And I'll pump fake it, and then you. Yeah, it's frustrating. It's hard to watch. You got a guy. I mean, if I'm Miles Sanders, I'm doing one of two things. I'm either laughing to the bank every week at how much I'm getting paid to touch the ball once or twice every game, or I'm frustrated because I'm not getting the ball to show what I can do, and that's probably the case. You have a guy on this team who is one of the better backs in the league. His average yards per carry, and don't even count this year, but even in the past, has been among the better ones in the league. He is a weapon, but you are not using him at all. And I like the way he and Gainwell can work off each other, but you have to give them both some sort of workload for it to matter. And there isn't any at all. And that's why I say I'm out on Nick Sirianni, the offensive coordinator at this point. I'm willing to give him more time as figuring out if he can be a head coach in this league. 6 games is not enough for that. But you're asking this basically rookie quarterback to do way too much every game. And it's amazing, quite frankly, that Hurts hasn't had more interceptions or more sacks based on what they've asked him to do.
So we still have Hurts, Scott Grayson with us here. We still have Hurts, but we now no longer have Ertz. We haven't talked about this yet, and Billy was in the stands, so a lot of people didn't realize that was Zack Ertz's last game as an Eagle. They trade him to the Cardinals for a 5th-round pick and corner Tay Gowan, and that may not be the end of it, too, by the way. As you guys were talking about linebackers and coverage and secondary, Eric Wilson looks like he's getting phased out. Hey, ship him out before that November 2nd deadline. I guess 2 things, Scott Grayson. Then 1, your thoughts on Zack Ertz leaving and what they got back from him. And 2, who else do you think might go?
Well, I tweeted this out. It's like you look at what Zack Ertz had going on, and I don't think it's very different than what Ben Simmons has going on. And the way Zack handled it throughout this whole offseason, reporting to camp, putting his head down, going to work, I think he was told, you play hard, we're going to find you something. And he did that. And you look at what obviously Ben Simmons, we don't need to talk about that. The way he's handled this has been the complete polar opposite. And you're seeing a polar opposite result at this point. He's not getting what he wanted. I found myself, torn. I really liked interacting with Zack in the locker room. He shot you straight. He's one of those few guys who would always give you honest answers. He always told you what he was thinking. He always told you what he felt. He's a guy who, he's Philly all through and through. Playing with the lacerated kidney, doing what he did, scoring that touchdown in the Super Bowl. This guy's a legend here, in my opinion, both on and off the field. And you saw that. What player, after he's been traded, requests to have a news conference with the media in the town that he's leaving before he leaves?
Right.
That's just uncharacteristic. I look at him and I say to him, I told my boys, and I would tell all the youngsters out there, that is a role model. That is a guy you want to look up to, and there aren't many of them in this league right now, or in professional sports, period. And I find myself really rooting for now the Arizona Cardinals to win a ring so that he could get another one. Really like him. I think he's going to come back to Philadelphia when his career is over and be embraced by this organization and this town as he rightfully should. As far as what the Eagles do now, look, how he's stocking up on draft picks. I guess he doesn't feel like he has enough. And they got a young corner in the move. Everything you read is they liked this corner in the draft. So maybe they're looking at something there. If they got somebody they can use down the road who's young, they've got to get younger on defense. I've been saying that. They did it on offense, as you guys pointed out, but they've got to do that on defense too. So in my opinion, it was a good trade. I think it works for both teams. And hopefully they will, make some good moves down the stretch. But, I wish nothing but the best for Ertz.
We're talking with Scott Grayson, Fox 29 News sports anchor. We watch him on Sports Sunday. Scott, the dichotomy, you just nailed it right on the head. We talked about this yesterday on the program, the dichotomy between Zack Ertz and Ben Simmons. Ertz crying like.
Well, remember the Cincinnati game where Ertz did miss, sort of olayed the tackle. He was like a matador,
right? And
then everybody was that was the one time. But I think that was when he fully cemented his Philadelphia legacy, because when he did that, he didn't duck, he didn't hide, he didn't make any excuses. He was like, you know what, I screwed up, and we loved him ever since.
What Scott Grayson pointed out is in the press conference. He was like, this is my, I'm from California, but this is my home. I want to be here.
Cole Hamels did that too. He called a press conference after he was traded.
Well, right? But I'm saying, and then Ben Simmons can't stand the pressure here.
I don't even want to mention that guy's name. It sullies the segment. Yeah. Scott's going to church to pray for Ben Simmons.
And if you look, it's just overall the team stats. 213 total yards, 113 passing yards, 100 yards rushing. They're totally inept.
They are. And here's the thing. They have, usually you get this extra time and these coaches will tell you, yeah, I self-scout. I do some self-scouting on these extra few days before they got to start game planning for the Raiders next week. I would love to know what Sirianni sees when he watches his offense and the play calling that is being done. Maybe we'll see some growth this week because he'll have had that chance to recognize some stuff. Maybe we won't. I will say this, in fairness to them, it was a tough first 6 games. That being said, they've got some easier ones coming up. You want to make something out of this season, you got to show us some growth and some wins here in the next couple weeks. They can beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
They can definitely beat the Lions, and suddenly you're back to 500, and we could be talking in 2 weeks about a team that maybe is starting to maybe fix a few things. Yeah. We'll see. But they needed to make use of this bye week, the coaching staff, in terms of, wow, look at how vanilla we are. Look at how plain we are. The penalties, are you going to fix that? That is on the coaching staff in my mind to correct that stuff too. So they've had a lot of work to do in these days off, and hopefully they come back next week and they're starting to fix that.
Yeah, Billy's reading off these stats. 6 drives without running more than 3 plays. They had 5 3-and-outs in that Thursday night, 1 interception, right? It just there was one running back carry, Billy, in the first half. There was only 9 running back carries total in the game. And for what did you think, Scott, of Sirianni's spin saying, well, some of them are RPOs? I can't even ask that question without laughing because it's such hooey.
It's the difference between winning and losing. If they're 4-2 and he says that, people just kind of shrug it off like whatever. But you're 2-4 and it's obvious that's just a BS line. And that's what it is. It's him trying to justify what's going on. And I went back and looked through some transcripts last night of his press conferences from the last few days, and from the last since he was hired, just trying to find where he would be talking about running the ball. He talked about having to build up and play to your player's strengths. He talked about Miles Sanders, letting him play to his strengths. Really? You're not doing that. What are you doing?
Normally, by the way, they would defer. Like, the whole idea is if you win the toss, you defer, right? In this game, you're deferring to then let the GOAT come on and just pick apart your defense. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, what tone are you setting there?
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that made no sense to me either. I didn't get that. I thought you really need to get the ball, and you need to try to at least you got the home crowd fired up. It's a national night game. You got to go. You got to go with the offense and try to do something early to get that crowd really heavily involved when the GOAT does come on the field. Nothing he's doing right now makes sense to me. That being said, he's new. He's got to learn. But like I said, it's the not for long league, and if you don't figure it out, you won't be here for long.
Well, Scotty, listen, we don't have to get a prediction from you today like we do every Sunday, so you're off the hook there.
You could ask him, does he think the sermon is going to be longer than 20 minutes or not? What's going to be the first hymn out of the gate? Will the doxology come before or after? You could ask him a lot of church things.
Yeah, exactly. There's plenty of stuff I can figure out that way.
We will watch you tonight on Sports Sunday, Fox 29 News. Scotty, as always, thank you so much, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Yeah, you guys too. Thank you.
All right,
there he is, Scott Grayson, 97.3ESPN.com, Fox 29 News sports anchor. Follow him on Twitter at @SGraysonFox29. Of course, he's here on the Barb's Harley Davidson Sports Hotline. I want to remind people the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts to help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you. 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy being called a Maserati. Maserati, the mainline, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the mainline, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati, the mainline, at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit him online anytime at MOTML.
Will he trick out the Maserati? Like, if I get one of him from him, can I get that and then pull up the Great Bay with that? Drive right on the first tee.
So he's going to be ripping out.
I'm going to drive right on the first tee with that.
All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN. All right, we're back here in the locker room. Pete Thompson, Billy Schweim, 97.3.
I feel like you say Pete Thompson the same way you say be audacious.
So the next two games, the Eagles are in Vegas.
I think that's going to have a lot of Eagles representation, too.
I know three people that are already going out.
We know the Eagles travel well to begin with, and that's a game that you'd circle before the season starts. Like when the road games come out, you're like, oh, yeah, Vegas. Heck
so
yeah.
In the beginning of the year, I had that as a loss, but now with the Gruden thing and Raiders they didn't play that well last week.
Yeah, they could win these next two.
Game.
Very much so.
The Alliance, the Lions are the Lions.
Yeah. They could win that one, too. They could win that one, too. Look, the Lions have had some tough luck losses, 66-yard field goal against him, right, by my man Justin Tucker. So you're not impressed, Billy, with the fact that the Dolphins are leading 13-3 over Jacksonville right now. You're not impressed by this London game. You didn't if you didn't have this show, you wouldn't have gotten up and made your tea and crumpets and sat down in front of the tube.
Have you ever been to bloody old England?
I've been through Heathrow. I mean, I went to Scotland and I went to Ireland. I went to Scotland in 98 and Ireland in 2002.
I've been to the Stonehenge.
I've been to Carhenge. That's in Nebraska. It's a bunch of cars that are laid out like the rocks for Stonehenge.
I think that's when you go to England, it's like being sent to purgatory, right?
Why?
I don't know.
You're talking the game
for the players.
I mean, look, you're an old school guy. You remember it was a big deal when Buddy Ryan or maybe it was Kotite. The Eagles went over Jerome. It was Reggie White, Randall Cunningham. It was in that. What year was that? Princess Diana wore an Eagles jacket. Somebody slipped it to her, and then she wore it, and that was an iconic picture. What year was that?
What was that plane that could get you across the
Concorde?
The Concorde, get you across the Atlantic in 4 hours, 3 hours, and
something like
42 minutes.
I don't think it was really safe, but yeah.
Other than that, you're talking an 8-hour flight. Right?
And by the way, the Eagles did play in London when they played just in 2018. If you forgot about that,
yeah,
I didn't.
I forgot about it.
Right? Yeah. Well, Zack Ertz had a couple of, or I'm sorry, Wentz had 3 touchdown passes in that game. Who?
So last week I was singing the praises of Jalen Hurts, and I'm not getting off him. I think the kid is going to be fine. Everybody is worried about his arm strength and things like that. I think that Sirianni and the coaching staff just hasn't put them in the proper position.
No. Are you going to piss me off again? No.
Yeah, I'm staying with Jalen Hurts.
I'm not. He's a good backup quarterback.
No, he's not. He could be a starter in this league. It's too early.
No, he's not good enough. He can't handle everything on his plate.
He is good enough.
You're not asking me if I think that he's a good person. I think he's a great person.
I'm not saying anything about his person. I don't know him as a person.
He cannot handle everything.
I disagree.
All the RPO stuff that's on his plate. Did you see him miss the throw to Ertz? Did you see him miss some key throws?
I saw him make some great throws too. Pete, it's too early to make that determination.
Something is wrong. It's either
him
the
coaching
or the
staff.
Okay, all right. So you're just
firmly. The plays. I mean, how many wide receiver screens are we going to throw? How many times? By the way, Andre Dillard, Jordan Mailata, I thought played really well. I thought our tackles did a great job.
So next year, when Howie uses his 3 draft picks to, move up, or they end up in a good position and they go get a franchise quarterback and Hurts is out and they start this over again, are you going to admit that we had this conversation?
No, I'll stick to it. They need defense.
Oh, I'm not saying that they don't need defense. I'm saying that I've been watching this. I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day. I'm Bill Murray in stinking Groundhog Day. And you are definitely Ned Ryerson, because every time Ned Ryerson, I walk the other way on the other side of the street. I don't want to hear you again try to pitch that Jalen Hurts is the answer.
I didn't say he's the answer, but he's not the problem.
Oh, he's part of
the problem. He's not the problem. No, he's not.
Part of the problem.
He's not.
He's not as efficient.
I've seen him make some really nice throws. I've seen him make some horrible throws. I think the play calling is god-awful, and I don't think the coaching staff, the offensive coordinators, are giving that offensive unit the right plays to run.
So you're absolving Jalen Hurts of any responsibility.
Now, you know what the Eagles need to do with all their draft capital is build the defense up. Get a stud defense. Like, look what the Cowboys did. The last 3 first-round picks have been all defense.
Yeah, one of them would have looked great in an Eagles uniform.
That's right.
His name's Micah Parsons.
Well, now we got all this draft capital. Use it, build the defense up.
They don't value defense.
Look,
Even their owner likes to throw the football. He comes down and says it. If they run the ball too much, he doesn't like it.
Well, once again, if Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie are going to get involved with the actual play calling, then we're doomed. We'll never win again.
That's correct.
All right. They're going to be Jerry Jones-esque.
I mean,
so we'll never win again.
Look, I think Lurie is starting to become in that category.
Because the Cowboys haven't won anything in 28 years.
Right. He's not Daniel Snyder. He's not Jerry Jones, but he's certainly an active owner, as is his prerogative because it's his team.
That's right.
What did he do? Look, we didn't even get into this. And I brought this up with Gil, and he poo-pooed it. He just dismissed it. But what did the Eagles think they were getting? They insisted on going out and getting Nick Sirianni, who had never called plays before. Why didn't they at least get some veteran guy on the staff who could sort of shepherd him through? This is how it works, okay? This guy is in the deep end of the pool, and he can't handle it. And, Josh McDaniels was available, right? Why couldn't you go get somebody that has some veteran experience calling plays? Nick Sirianni, I believe, is in over his head, and he's just, look. And
he's learning on the job. Just like Gabe, look at Gabe Kapler.
Sure.
Gabe Kapler was run out of town, and I'm not a Gabe Kapler fan.
Me neither. I was happy they lost.
And I was ecstatic they lost. But guess what? He learned what he learned in Philadelphia.
He's now better because of it.
He's better because of it. And then.
So your answer. Now, wait a second. You can't have it both ways. You just said that Jalen Hurts isn't the problem. Nick Sirianni is the problem. But here I am telling you to run Nick Sirianni out of town, and you're saying, no, you got to give him time.
Well, I'm not saying run it. Yeah, I'm not saying run him out of. He's only coached 6 games.
So get him some help.
Well, I'm not putting this all on Jalen Hurts.
Can't you bring in
Jalen Hurts the winner?
Can't you bring in some senior advisor to the such and such? Can't you do that where somebody comes in and sort of takes Sirianni aside each week and says, these plays worked, these plays didn't? Somebody he would listen to.
Pete, who's the offensive coordinator up in New England?
Currently?
Yeah. He could have been our coach. He would have probably been putting Jalen Hurts in a better position.
You want the New England offense?
Yeah, well,
New England offense?
I think he'd do a better job calling plays than Nick Sirianni.
I think a lot of people would do a better job of calling plays
than Nick Sirianni is learning on the job right here. What he's doing.
Yeah. Are you willing to suffer through that?
I don't know. Is it
the offensive coordinator of New England? I've said his name. It's Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels.
And I said his name like 2 minutes ago, and you just ran right by it.
Because I didn't hear you.
Okay, his name is Josh McDaniels. He's been a head coach.
I know.
Now miserably, but spectacular failure.
Learn from his mistakes too.
Yeah, to go back and be a coordinator again. You want Matt Patricia?
No.
You said you want defense. You want Matt Patricia to be your head coach?
Use their draft capital next year, bolstering the defense.
You need horses. You need talent.
You can't get blown off the line of scrimmage. You can't expect mediocre linebackers
to play
over their head.
They only have 3 first-round draft picks right now. I mean, they don't have 13.
Look, Cox and Brandon Graham, and those guys are getting up in age, man.
That's why I brought up to Scott when they traded Zack Ertz. Who's the next person to go? What if they get rid of Derek Barnett for something right now? What if they get rid of this Eric Wilson? I don't know that you know a lot about Eric Wilson. That was supposed to be a great signing.
That's why I sang his praises all last year when they got him.
Already this Davion Taylor, the 3rd-round pick, he played more snaps than Wilson did on Thursday night. What does that tell you?
That they're seeing the same thing I'm seeing when I watch the film.
This guy is not what they thought they were going to. And I brought this up on Friday with Gil. Ryan Kerrigan.
He's non-existent.
Where's that guy?
All right. First hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title's there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey, PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club. Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia, South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. When we return, could do with more here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN. All right, Pete, we got about a minute before we go to the top of the hour. Talk a little Flyers on the other side.
Good. We got a minute till the top of the hour, and I'm still mad at you about certain things here. Here's what we can do in a minute. Let me taunt you. What'd you think of that taunting penalty that basically helped the Buccaneers
Total BS. Total BS.
Run out the clock? It's the new emphasis on the rules now.
Come on, man.
I mean,
it had nothing to do with the game. It wasn't even that bad. I mean, Brown.
This is the quote from one Troy Aikman. I know that's a point of emphasis, and everyone's been talking about it, but that's a penalty?
Yeah. Disgrace. Yeah. Absolute disgrace, man.
Pretty unbelievable, right?
Yep.
Eagles couldn't cover Antonio Brown. He had 93 yards and a touchdown.
What he does, he gets up and he taunts, but he doesn't look directly at the person, so it's okay.
And I had Fournette, so I was actually happy about how his night went. I have him in fantasy.
I do too.
Yeah, he was good.
Couple of my legs.
Missed field goal, piss you off?
Yeah, it did. 46-yarder. He's got to hit that.
So fantasy, we're going to have him on the other side.
Brian Hartley, the fantasy football guru. I sat next to him on Thursday night's game.
How was that?
We'll discuss it with him.
Boy, all the seats in the stadium, he couldn't sit anywhere else.
He sat right next to me.
Oh, what great luck he had.
Fantasy football guru Brian Hartley. Hour 2. Get our fantasy picks.
Right. Flyers hockey.
We'll talk a little Flyers hockey.
Yeah.
You talk Ben Simmons a little bit?
No, I don't.
Not at all.
No, I don't want to talk to him. Do you? Do you really want to talk about it?
I want to jump. I want to pile on. Yeah.
All right.
All right. All that coming ahead.
It's your show. Whatever you want to talk about.
That's right. All right. We will be back on the other side. It's the Locker Room with Billy Schweim. Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN. All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN, and the mobile app, streaming live today on Twitter and YouTube. Check us out there. If you want to shoot us a text message, 609-403-0973 is the text board. You know you can always participate. Send us a text message with any thoughts, concerns, comments about anything Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, and Sixers.
Including, hey, Pete, I just got out of church, so this will be a calmer text than yesterday. I just hope that with this week off, the coaches have some sort of game plan that resembles an NFL team and not a train wreck against the Raiders. This embarrassing has to stop. Go Birds.
609-403-0973. Now, Pete, the NHL opened up for the Flyers.
Wait, I got another one.
All right.
Hey, Mr. Thompson, I tried to find you last night at Witchcraft, but to quote Billy, you were the social butterfly hosting events. Yeah, that's right.
Shaking hands and kissing babies.
I'm running for office. I was on stage for the pie eating contest. I mean, why did you
win?
See me up there? I wasn't eating the pie, dude. I was up there. It's funny. I was supposed to MC it. But John Henderson, the grand wizard of everything, the grand poobah, he was on the mic. And then Brian O'Halloran, the guy from Clerks, he played Dante in Clerks. You ever see the movie Clerks?
Did not.
You're not a Kevin Smith fan?
Did not.
All right, then. Well, anyhow, he was the other guy, so I just was up there for moral support.
609-403-0973.
Yeah, keep sending them in. Sorry you missed me last night at Witchcraft.
Was that one of your students?
I don't know,
they call
actually.
You Mr. Thompson?
Well,
do they call you Mr. Thompson at school?
100% they do. Very much so. You know, you got to respect the office.
Absolutely.
Respect the man. What were you telling me before I interrupted? I'm sorry.
Well, no, I said the NHL when the NHL opened up and the Flyers had their first game.
Yes.
On Friday night.
Yes.
I wanted to know wanted to get your impressions.
I thought they looked great through the first period. I thought the second period was more the same. They were chasing the game and chasing the puck, and the thing that scared me the most is that Carter Hart looked a little bit like
those
scary
two
one.
Those two goals that he let in, the one that bounced off,
pretty
he didn't
bad.
have a skate against the post.
Pretty bad.
And then the one comes from the other side. I mean, he's got to. So basically, the one game, the opening game, was exactly like what we've seen, even though we have all these new faces. And I like what Trader Chuck did.
In a microcosm, it was a microcosm of last year's season, you know.
Where you had the Flyers getting behind early.
Right.
And then catching up, only to have Carter Hart giving a couple easy goals.
I mean, the building was pretty loud, apparently, when they scored the two to get it tied and send it to overtime, you know, when it was 4-3.
We had Charlie O'Connor on the program here yesterday who covers the Flyers for The Athletic.
That I listened to.
He said it was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was. I mean, and fans were back in the building, and you know, I don't know if you were following this stuff on Twitter, but the Flyers did a nice thing. They put a little memorial to Jay Greenberg in the press box there. I thought that was very nice. You know, I thought the fact that Lou Nolan got to officially start his 50th season. You know, I mean, because with the protocols and all that stuff. Although I think he's up in the press box, he's not between the benches, but that's all right. We just want Lou in the building. You know, put him in the building somehow.
And I got to tell you. Scott McKay was busting you again yesterday as well. He said last year he was supposed to meet you at the Wells Fargo between periods, and once again you were shaking hands and kissing babies.
Now that's a great story because the best part of that story is that he was actually trying to give me money, like cold hard cash.
And
but I still was elusive.
You're politicking out there, Pete.
Listen, I don't seek this stuff out. When I stand up to go meet McKay and somebody says, "Hey, Pete Thompson," and then stops me, what am I going to do?
He said he stood next to you for the whole entire intermission, and he finally just walked away from it.
That also was when I was visiting with the GM of the entire building. I'm sorry. Who are you going to talk to, McKay or the GM of the Wells Fargo Center?
I try not to talk to McKay.
You talk to him on the radio every Saturday. Here's my thing, Billy. They've been wearing these shirts, something to prove, right? These are the shirts they've been wearing during training camp and ready to go?
Correct.
Right. Well, what did they prove? That they're not much better.
Well, I think that's not fair because I love the additions that the Trader Chuck, the additions that he made to this team. And I think that Cam Atkinson is a great addition to the lineup. I think Ryan Ellis was impressive. Yandel, even though he's a defensive liability, he quarterbacked the power play pretty well, and he got 2 assists in his opening game. I like Ivan Provorov. Carter Hart was less than satisfactory for his opening game, but I think it's still so early. You can't make a conclusion.
Oh, I'm not making a conclusion. I'm just saying.
But I think they have more character that they get through something like this.
I don't like seeing, some of those flaws resurface their ugly head. They allowed power play goals. Carter Hart looked a little soft at times. That's the thing. You can't win with a guy that's hot and cold like that. And that goal you're talking about, it was 17:07 in the second period. Right. Elias Peterson's shots out of the goal line, and he couldn't find it. I mean, it's right there, and look, that's just spacing and come on. But they did tie it up. That was good. They tied it up. They said, and you know what? You remember what Billy Barber used to say?
What?
Cherish the point. Cherish the point, you would say. Don't be pissed off that you didn't get 2. Cherish that you at least got 1. Cherish the point, because 1 is better than none.
1 is better than none.
So I'm going to go with Billy Barber on this one.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm
Coach Hackstall comes in
cherish it
tomorrow, right? Hackstall comes in tomorrow with the Kraken.
So Jim from EHT says, no, I'm trying to be respectful. I'm the same age as Pete. And I finally saw Billy. Boy, he does have a face for radio.
Talking about
way to go, Jim. Boy, Jim.
609-403-0973 is the text board number.
Yeah, Dave Hackstall ain't lacing them up tomorrow night. What do you care about that storyline for?
No, I'm just saying.
He's going to be just as, what's the word I'm looking for?
He won't even, it's going to be
prickly and surly as he would be any other time to the media. Hey, welcome back, Dave Hackstall. You were a real jerk when you were here, right? I mean, come on.
By the way, what's this guy talking about? I'm not aesthetically pleasing. What's he talking about?
Let's see here. Right now, well, I'm, you're not my type, but you're not aesthetically pleasing to me right now.
Face for the radio.
He's taking a shot.
He sure is, man.
Does it bother you?
I'm very sensitive.
Yes, I know. That's why I was so excited to read that.
609-403.
Way to go, Jim. Keep them coming. Keep coming. 609-403.
If we were on the radio, I can say some things, but I won't.
That's true. What? You don't have anything other than expletives? You can't say clean things?
No, it's not. I'll save it for off the air.
Well, Jim will probably come up and meet you sometime.
Maybe. All right. So I'm not too.
Somebody came up to us last night at Witchcraft and talked about listening to the show and had a great time with great glee talking about the entire time where you couldn't understand the concept of why they didn't have fireworks when it was daytime, when the game was still ending in the daytime.
No, I said, who wants to see fireworks on July 15th?
No, you had the whole thing where you were mad because they didn't have fireworks at a game.
It was a 4:05 start.
Yes,
that day.
Yes, but it was still light out when the game ended. That was the point, But
I just my whole thing is about that.
You think people don't listen? They listen, and it takes
Pete,
2 or 3 months.
My whole argument was, what are they going to celebrate the birth of the country 15 days after the date?
What, you think that they own Major League Baseball and they could pick when they get home or away games?
It'd be the equivalent of celebrating your birthday 2 weeks after your birthday.
That always happens. Why is this a surprise?
I don't subscribe to it. I don't like that. I like to celebrate birthdays on your birthday.
Well,
on the birthday.
Talk to my family. When we celebrated my 50th birthday? 50 and 6 months because of.
Well, that's because there was a COVID thing.
Yeah, that's true. There was some pandemic.
So is that why they didn't have the fireworks till July 15th because of the pandemic?
Who knows? No, I think it was because they didn't have a home date until then.
That's I just live by that. When you have your birthday, if your birthday's on a Wednesday, you have your birthday party on a Wednesday.
Okay.
You celebrate. You get a bake, take somebody to dinner, get a cake, sing happy birthday.
So you like the big birthday celebration because I know there's
not
a lot of
necessarily,
people.
But
they don't want to admit it's their birthday. You say happy birthday to them and they get real quiet, like, oh, don't tell anybody.
I mean, if you say, hey, we're going to celebrate your birthday, okay. If the person says, no, we don't want to celebrate it, you don't celebrate.
Are you sensitive about your age?
Not at all.
Okay. How old are you? Right.
50.
My butt. You are not 50 years old. See, I knew that was the God. You walked right into that. I knew that was so easy. Are you sensitive about your age?
Not at all. I'm not sensitive about anything.
How old are you?
You guys think I'm sensitive. I'm not sensitive.
Okay, so how old are you?
60.
All right, there you go.
And I've been told, when I tell people how old I am, they go, no way.
Yeah, because you look so great for radio.
609-403-0973. We got the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, coming up. How you doing in your league, Pete?
I had another hard luck loss in my CBS league last week, so I am winless in that league, 0-5. But if you finish in DFL, and you know what DFL stands for, right?
Right.
If you finish in that spot, you do get your money back. Now, for the integrity of the league, you can't be like Sam Hinkie tanking, right?
Right.
But I'm not. I mean, I'm putting up points and I'm putting in lineups each week. I just keep getting a few bad breaks. Now in the ESPN league, I think I won again last week. So I think I'm 4-1 in that league. And quite frankly, that one I have a decent lineup.
I'm 1-4. I'm 1-4 in the Playland league. I'm 3-2 in another league, and I'm 2-3 in the other league.
Yeah.
I'm in 3 leagues.
That's one league too many.
Yeah, I know.
Because you know what happens?
Well, people ask me, I say,
I know, because you feel like you need to contribute. You know what happens is you end up in that evil scenario where you have a guy in one league and then you're playing against that guy in the other league. Yeah. Hasn't that happened to you before?
Yeah, it has. And
it's awful.
Once again, Christian McCaffrey's on the IR.
Yeah, that's
I got like 4. I got Gronkowski.
Why did I draft
I've got
that
Jerry
guy?
Jeudy. I mean, half my lineup's on IR.
Yeah, well, if you didn't have bad luck, Billy, you wouldn't have any luck at all.
All right. The second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club.
Billy's face for radio.
Where that's cool. That's nice.
You're so mad about that. I love it. Yeah, right.
The second, I love that little laugh. The second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, where I'm going to beat Pete Thompson and beat him soundly, or you can join fine dining experience, lively atmosphere in the pub. There's a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. My Winter Watchdog. Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time that you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or call them at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or shoot Debbie an email, debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN. Hey, I want to remind people, the locker room at Blitz's Market with a discount your Eagles game day meal. Today it's your NFL game day meal. During this day, NFL game day today, get you an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Get down to Blitz's Market all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitz's now is online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or call them at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home of the dill pickle hoagie. It's really a big deal. Now it's time for the Fantasy Football Guru, brought to you by Stella Exteriors. They've been providing professional roofing and siding at affordable prices since 1996. Did you know that only 2% of roofing contractors qualify as a GAF Master Elite installer? So if you do the math, choosing Stella Exteriors takes 98% of the worry out. That's Stella Exteriors, 636 West Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey, or give them a call at 609-399-1010. That's 609-399-1010. Let's go to the Barb's Harley Davidson Sports Hotline and welcome in the fantasy football, my fantasy football, and yours, Brian Hartley. What's up, Guru?
What's up, Billy? Good to see you the other night. We had some good laughs, and I'll tell you what, I think I'm still trying to eat my Blitz hoagies from last weekend. I told you last week we bought 20 on Sunday for all the guys at work, and what a delicious treat that was for everyone.
And they pack that meat in there, don't they, Brian?
Yes, they do. You said it, not me.
Yeah. You didn't even know what you said.
I didn't know what I said.
Which is usually the case.
Brian, the game we sat next to each other at the Thursday night game. What did you think about the atmosphere in the stadium?
Well, I enjoyed the second half when they gave Miles Sanders the ball and the stadium gave him a standing ovation, because I think that's what we've all been waiting for. Like, why are we not feeding that guy the ball? Why are we not trying to run the ball? I mean, everyone was excited to be there. It's a Thursday night game. It was the only game of the week, so you weren't missing anything else.
Right.
But it's the same old thing. You and I had a discussion last week about you think Jalen Hurts is a franchise quarterback. We had the discussion Thursday night before the game.
I disagree. Where do you fall? Yeah, me and Brian Hartley in the same camp. No way. Yeah.
I think he's not the problem, Brian.
22. Yeah, the game ends up 26-22, but they never had a chance. They're never going to have a chance. They might win some of these games against Washington, the Giants, or some of these other teams that aren't very good, but they're not going to be competitive with these teams that are playing for playoff spots.
But Brian, their problem is they got problems all over the board. No question about it. But their biggest problem is their defense. They can't stop anybody.
Well, it's the defense. It's the offensive line.
The offensive line. That's wrong. I watched the film twice. No, I've watched the game a total of 3 times, and the offensive line I thought played pretty well.
Nah, I don't know. I don't see it. Listen, man. They got a lot of problems, and their refusal to run the ball whatsoever.
The problem.
Is a big issue when you're trying to balance it out. Instead, you're running these RPOs, and Hurts is running around, and it's only a matter of time before he takes a big hit and he gets hurt. Well, it's going to happen.
That's true. All right, speaking of big hits, Brian, I'm in free fantasy football leagues, and right now I've got.
Oh, this timed out good. Here it is.
I've got one league that I've already got 3 guys on IR: Jerry Jeudy, Gronkowski, and now Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, we've been discussing that McCaffrey thing, I feel like, the last few weeks. It's kind of odd. Last week he was trending towards he might actually play, and then ended up not playing this week. So I actually dropped Chuba Hubbard early in the week thinking that McCaffrey would be coming back, and now he lands himself in the IR for a couple weeks. So, I'm not sure what's going on there, but that's always the problem with those soft tissue issues, and we've seen a lot of them. Jerry Jeudy, hopefully you're going to get him back in a few weeks. He's probably got 2 more weeks that he's going to be out. And then he should come back. And Denver really needs him because they've suffered a lot of wide receiver injuries as well. Gronkowski, he's another one. O.J. Howard, we saw score right in front of us the other night.
Right.
So they've got time. They've got other weapons there, him and Brate. But Gronkowski, he'll come back in a few weeks too, hopefully. But he's been injury prone, so it's something to keep an eye on. And, McCaffrey, the part that hurts with him is he's your number 1 pick. You can't replace a guy like that. A guy like Jerry Jeudy, you're not drafting him as necessarily as high. Gronkowski, you probably did because you probably needed a tight end in that league in your starting lineup, which made it a little harder. But, yeah, McCaffrey, it's tough. But, hey, Chuba Hubbard this week, you got Darrell Williams that's out there filling in for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who got hurt last week. So
another one of my guys.
Out there.
Another one of my guys.
Well, you know what, Billy? Maybe you should just start drafting guys and picking guys up that are next week, and they'll end up getting hurt.
And by the way, you and I are going head to head, and right now, as of right now, I'm up on you 52-6, but it's not good because I've had 5 guys play, and you don't have a 1.
Oh, so this is the big week. So this is the Hartley versus Schweim week.
And you look at
this is outstanding.
I'm going to show it on the camera here.
Take him down, Hartley. Take him down.
When you look at it, it says win probability. It says Brian Hartley, the guru, 57%, and I'm at a 43% right now.
Just like I'm going to do you in golf.
You were doing a lot of chirping in the first quarter of that game the other day because you had all those Tampa Bay players, and they were all scoring. Suddenly it got really, really quiet. And, like you said, you ended up with not so many points at the end of the game.
No, I did. I thought I was really – you saw Edwards-Helaire. Who else do I have? Godwin. I had Ertz. Ertz only got me 12 points. Antonio Brown got 24.3. I thought I was really excited. Then all of a sudden they dropped he stopped producing, and here I'm at 52.6. It looks like you're in a good spot, Brian.
Well, you know what? I'll take a win any way I can get it. And usually wins are easier when they're against the Schweimer.
All right, it's week 6 in the NFL. Brian, what do you got?
All right, at week 6, I like Matthew Stafford going against the New York Giants, Joe Burrow going against the Detroit Lions, which you got to like anybody going against the Detroit Lions this time of year. Ben Roethlisberger going against Seattle. That defense is just not the same this year. At running back, I like Joe Mixon going against Detroit, Javonte Williams against the Las Vegas Raiders, and I like Brandon Bolden going against Dallas. Damian Harris, we'll see what happens with him, but I think Bolden could get some plays and get some balls out of the backfield. At wide receiver, I like the combination of Chase Claypool and Deontay Johnson going against Seattle with Juju Smith-Schuster out. Brandon Cooks going against Indianapolis should have some big plays there. And I like for Detroit, Amon-Ra St. Brown going against the Cincinnati Bengals. They're going to be playing from behind. They're going to have to throw a lot and look for him to have some great plays today. Those are my picks for week 6. And Billy, I'm taking Tampa Bay 26 over the Eagles 22 this week.
Hey, that's a stone cold lead pipe lock. Oh, Hartley, you cracked me up. Hey, let me ask you this question because, I'm going to read you something first, okay? 27 is the number, Guru. 27. Kickers combined to miss a record 13 extra points and 14 field goals last week. The 27 combined missed kicks in the league were the most in a single week since week 12 in 1987, when kickers missed 26 field goals and 1 extra point. The last time there were more than 27 in a week came in week 14 in 1981, when there were 9 missed extra points and 20 missed field goals. Wow. How are you supposed to have a kicker? And I know it's the kicker, Brian, but how are you supposed to have any faith in anybody that's not named Justin Tucker if they're doing that?
Well, listen, a lot of that was on Mason Crosby last week. He was a big issue with that. And the really strange part about last week was weather wasn't really an issue either. A lot of times when you see a lot of those missed kicks and extra points and field goals and all, you're looking at some games that are being played in lousy weather, whether it's wind, rain, whatever. That wasn't necessarily the case last week. Guys were just flat out missing. I got Daniel Carlson, who's, I think, an absolute stud going against, or playing for the Raiders. But even a guy that I had last year who's a stud too is Jason Sanders, who just missed a field goal right before halftime in this game going on right now. So it's one of those things, man. Some of these guys, they get it in their head, and once it's in their head, it's really hard to get it out. We'll see what happens, but there are some kickers out there. Tucker, obviously, that guy's a stud. He may go into the Hall of Fame as a kicker. That guy's unbelievable to watch. He doesn't miss.
And, of course, Jake Elliott missed that 46-yard field goal Thursday night. I mean, I don't remember a time like Pete just brought up. We missed so many field goals.
Yeah, like I said, it's been kind of going around this season. Guys have been inconsistent. And, listen, you could possibly see some changes being made on some of these teams going forward because, these guys can't afford to lose games with kicks at the end or a missed extra point here or there. It almost happened with the the LA Chargers game last week.
That's a buck in the box.
They missed that extra point there, and it was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? So,
by the way, Billy, since this is a fantasy segment, I should say that I have Justin Tucker as my kicker. I had a chance to win my first game in my other league, and because Baltimore was so far behind, what were they doing, Hartley? Do you remember what they were doing? They were always going for 2.
I did not see that. You're going for 2. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
that's always a brutal one there.
I think I lost by like 4 points or something like that. It was excruciating, but that's fantasy.
All right, Guru.
That's the way it goes.
All right, Guru. What are you babysitting right now? While you have the Dolphins game on?
I got one on the other side of the door screaming, crying. I don't know what's going on down there. My wife's working. I'm locked in the bedroom just waiting.
Well, we'll let you get back at it.
Good luck.
All right, Brian, the Guru, fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. Thanks a lot, brother. We'll see you next Sunday.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
All right, take care. That's so funny. I mean, your doopy doo's how old now?
6.
Right. So, I mean,
He's got a whole tribe.
She's sort of self-sufficient right now. I mean, like you could hear, like you asked if he was babysitting because you could hear his youngest
they're screaming.
Probably like, hey, Dad, where are you? Sorry, can't watch you 24/7.
The fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, is brought to you by Stella Exteriors. They've been providing professional roofing and siding at affordable prices since 1996. Did you know that only 2% of roofing contractors qualify as GAF Master Elite Installer? So if you do the math, choosing Stella Exteriors takes 98% of the worry out. That's Stella Exteriors, 636 West Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey. Or give them a call at 609-399-1010. That's 609-399-1010. I was riding down the street in Collingswood the other day, and I saw a Stella Exteriors
I love
truck.
that. I love that when you see the sponsors. I love that.
Man. Second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where
it's always a great day in Great Bay.
No, where Pete Thompson's going to get his butt.
No, that's not what it says on the script.
That's what it says right here.
No, read the script.
Right it says the second hour of the locker room is
Billy has a face for radio. That's what it says. Oh, that guy got you.
I did. Great Bay Country Club, your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's where Pete Thompson's going to get his butt. Oh, doesn't it say that right there?
Stop reading that line.
It's over the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You play their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, experience lively atmosphere in the pub. For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. When you get down there, say hello to Radio Ron Ralston for us. Scott Dunn's down there. Ryan's down there. Get the whole crew.
Who's on the minute you open your car door? Who's usually on the bags?
Kevin Kelly.
Kevin Kelly.
He's always there with a big smile.
Absolutely. K squared.
It's great atmosphere.
Absolutely. They treat you like family.
Down there.
Oh, our Canadian friend?
Our Canadian friend's down there.
I hope he's playing today. It's a gorgeous day.
Hey, friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy being called a Maserati. Maserati, the mainline, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience is not at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the mainline, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati, the mainline, at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime, motml.com. You know what we don't do? We don't get Michael Pileggi to put up a Maserati on a par 3.
Oh, for like a hole in one?
Yeah, if you get a hole in one, get a Maserati.
Do you even understand how that works?
How's that work?
You got to pay like insurance, like against it. Like, God forbid somebody actually, hits the hole in one, So are you putting that money up?
Yeah,
Aha! Now we got a little longer conversation.
Get Michael Pileggi to put it up.
Hey, Pete,
hey,
I just thought it'd be a
Mikey, put it up. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, who's got a face for the radio on 97.3 ESPN. We're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson. Pete, you watching any of the Major League Baseball?
I watched the Giants and Dodgers series quite a bit. Did not watch any baseball last night. I was at Witchcraft.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, until the rain came. Then it was not so much
fun. I'm pulling for the Dodgers. I just like their lineup. I like all the names. They're all recognizable names. And
you're pulling for the Dodgers?
Yeah, I'm pulling for the Dodgers.
Why?
Because I can't stand the Braves.
Okay.
All right. I'm not a Boston Red Sox fan. I'm not an American League guy.
Okay.
DH and everything.
All right.
So it's my choice.
Dodgers are your team.
Yeah.
That's left.
Yeah.
They're the best of the worst.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Scherzer.
You know, you're right. Actually, now that I think about this, I don't really. No wonder I'm not watching. I don't like any of them.
I can't believe the Braves won last night.
I get that they won 3-2. But my question is you're right. Like, are you going to pull for the cheating Astros? No. You're going to pull for the Red Sox?
No.
No. Right. And then who else do you have? Who's tonight? It's
you got you got Dodgers, or you got Dodgers and Braves.
Right. So I'm not pulling for no. I vote for none. I vote for none of them.
What baseball team that you just can't stand? Like a team that just off the top of your head, I don't like that team. Mets?
No, the Yankees.
Well, all right. So Yankees, you despise.
Well, I used to. Now I don't care. Now I don't care.
You're apathetic, right?
Right. The Astros I don't like because they cheated, and I'll never forgive them for that. And, I mean, there's teams that I liked. I liked the Rays. I liked how they were built. They're done. I was not going to root for the Giants because I didn't want to validate a guy that I didn't really care for in Gabe Kapler. Although I liked the Darren Ruff hit that home run. Did you see that nice. Former Philly Creighton guy?
So I watched some good football yesterday.
Wait, before you move on from this, I'm supposed to care about these series? I'm supposed to care about the Red Sox?
As a sports guy, I don't know. You think you're paying a little bit more attention to it?
Sure.
Right?
I can tell you who won.
Right. All right. Well, I watched the Dodgers game. I like their lineup.
There's Dodgers. They play again tonight.
Yeah.
But you should be watching the football tonight. Yeah, and more importantly, you should be listening to the football. We got a triple header.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yes, we got the Chargers and the Ravens.
Yeah. Then you have Cowboys, New England, and then the Sunday night game, Seahawks and Steelers. Now, I'm happy, Billy, that finally the Sunday night game is a game that I'm not that interested in. Right. So I think that I can go to bed at maybe halftime and get a good night's sleep. I was a zombie. You're sitting here complaining. I'll just pull the curtain back. You're like, oh man, it's really killing me. I'm working 7 days a week. I'm like, you told me you took off on Friday. Oh yeah, well that was a recovery day. Hey, guess who didn't take off on Friday? This guy. Guess who had to teach? This guy. And had students. I wasn't just attendance. Yeah, you can go to the bathroom. Attendance. Yeah, you can go to the bathroom. I mean, I was working.
I will be working 7 days a week.
What do you have to say to that?
Hey, listen, man. It's like you're talking on the radio. There's still a lot of preparation.
Mr. Face for Radio guy.
Stop it, will you?
Jimmy from BHT.
609-403-0973.
Yes.
Text board number.
Yeah, call. Text us in.
I do want to get your opinion on Ben Simmons, though, real quick.
All right.
Because all I can think about when I watch.
I was kind of hoping you forgot about that.
No. But I do, because, we don't talk about what we're going to talk about during the week at all.
Correct.
We just come in here, we let it flow, right?
That's usually how it works.
All right.
Yes.
All I can think about watching Zack Ertz getting emotional to the Philly fan
is how he's the complete opposite of Ben Simmons.
It was so refreshing to see the relationship that he has with this area.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because, and I said this to McKay yesterday, but he didn't think so. If Ben Simmons, if the Sixers would have beaten the Atlanta Hawks, and Ben Simmons just hypothetically would have made that slam dunk as an exclamation point on that series, and then they maybe say they lost in the finals, even if they made it to the NBA championship game, would we be sitting here in this position with Ben Simmons?
If they'd won against the Hawks instead of lost?
Yeah.
I don't even think it's kind of like that Sliding Doors movie or It's a Wonderful Life, where you get to see how your life would be if you made a different decision.
Right.
Look, this Simmons saga is not going anywhere, and every day it's even so. Hey, great.
Is it brought on by him, basically?
Yes.
This is all on him.
He didn't even tell the Sixers he was coming, Billy. He showed up at the Wells Fargo Center to get his COVID stuff. They didn't even know he was coming. It caught them off guard. The Ramona Shelburne tweet yesterday. Did you see what she put out?
No, I missed it.
Because you guys were on the air. Yesterday or Friday morning, she put out an article Ramona Shelburne did from ESPN that said that Simmons basically was lying or might have been lying that he was exposed to a team masseuse, right? So, Billy, he was trying to – you're asking, would things be different if they won that Game 7? Would things have been different if Ben Simmons didn't play in that Game 7? Because he was trying to get himself out of that game.
Right.
He was held out of the shoot-around because of a possible exposure, and then it turns out like there was like misinformation, like was he around this masseuse or not? Everybody else was like, no, we didn't see her. And then Ben, all of a sudden, like the light bulb goes off. Wait a second. If I say that I saw the masseuse, then I won't have to play.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
I think the only thing worse. Zack Ertz won a championship here.
Of course he did.
Right. I mean,
but again, Zack Ertz had a low moment or low moments in his career, early in his career. Zack was a Stanford guy, California guy, right? He didn't understand, but boy, the learning curve was really quick on him.
Yep.
You know, he figured it out and he understood what the Philly mentality is, so much so that he's going to continue to run his foundation here and Julie Ertz and, you know, I mean, wherever he ends up. The perfect scenario for Zack would be to go to the Cardinals, win a championship, be with Bruce Arians, a Temple guy, Philly guy, be with all those guys on the Cardinals, you know, and take them to another level, and then come back and run his foundation here and be celebrated for the rest of his life.
It just like, and seeing Zack Ertz,
there are guys
vulnerable
that get it.
moment like that. That made me feel like
sure you get choked up. Remember Connor Barwin?
Yes,
he got it.
He got
right.
It.
Cole Hamels, we called him Hollywood Hamels, right? That second year, we killed him. I killed him. I don't know if you killed him, but that second year, 2009, you know, when he was so pathetic and so bad and couldn't get out of his own way. Remember, he blurted out the quote when somebody said to him, "Do you just wish the season was over?" And he said, "I do wish the season was over."
Yeah.
You know, you can't say that to the Philly fan base. But Cole Hamels is, in the long run, proven to be a guy that understands Philadelphia and gives back to Philadelphia and the Delaware Valley. And that's, look, the number one thing all people ever ask of their athletes in this area is to try and give your full effort. And Ben Simmons, when he's in there, gives an effort, but I don't know that it's a full effort.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree, and I just think that these self-inflicted wounds that he just doesn't get it.
How about
doesn't get it, Pete?
How about Ertz saying that he wants to, because he finishes like 3 or 4 catches short of Harold Carmichael.
Wants to come back.
He says, "Why don't you, when it's all said and done, sign me so I can get those 3 or 4 catches." I like that. I think that's great.
All right, Pete Thompson. I'm thinking about our golf tournament.
What about it? Where you're going to lose?
I'm just.
Oh, Born Again on the StreamYard says, I wonder if that's an homage to a Scott in church. Let's go Jags and let's go Brandon. I don't know who Brandon is, but okay, thank you.
Brandon? Oh, like, let's go Brandon, like the Joe Biden thing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, the Locker Room Blitz Market want to discount your NFL game day meal today during the NFL Today, Sunday. Get an Italian hoagie for just $5. What?
I'm laughing because you're like calling it the NFL Today because you're thinking of like Brent Musburger, Irv Cross, you know, Leslie Visser.
Remember that?
No,
it was Phyllis George.
Phyllis George. Sorry, my apologies.
Getting an Italian hoagie for $5 when you mention the Locker Room. Go down there, see Dave and Joe Newman. Great people. Get down to Blitz's all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitz's now is online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com. Give them a call at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home of the Dill Pickle Hoagie. It's really a big deal. The second hour of the Locker Room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make great, except for Pete Thompson when he loses.
What are you talking about?
Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you're greeted by name. It's home of the 3 hour.
You're going to be the one.
Round.
I bet if anybody throws a club, it's going to be you.
When we get back, you're going to tell us that story about your clubs in the tree.
Yes. Yes.
You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining experience, lively atmosphere in the pub. For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day. Great Bay Radio, Ron Ralston, Kevin Kelly down there. Hey, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. Were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia, South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and sees a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. When we return, we'll continue with more here with Pete Thompson, Billy Schweim in the locker room on 97.3 ESPN. Pete, I think that Randazzo's dining room is back open.
Oh yeah,
so
that's big news.
You and I had lunch down there a couple weeks ago. I love those cheesesteak wraps.
I took a pizza to go, and my girlfriend was like, "Yo, this pizza's legit." I'm like, "Yeah, man, Joe Pop knows how to do it."
I'll tell you what, the Randazzos are great people, man. Great food, great people. All right, tell us about your club in the tree, Pete.
All right,
we're gonna see a replay of that probably sometime in the near.
No. Because of this story, I don't throw clubs anymore. Although the last time I threw a club, Mike Gill was a witness to it, as was Howard, who worked here at the radio station and now has moved on to other things. But those two are not big golfers, right? And this is the last time I threw a club. Those two were playing. We were playing at Heritage Links down there in Palermo, and they wouldn't shut up. Right. And I wasn't, and Gil was like Magoo on the course. Like, where's the flag? Where am I going? You know? So I felt like I was wet nursing him. And then Howard just kept talking, and I was angry and cranky. You've seen me cranky when I come in here, right?
Yeah, sure.
So on a par 3, I hit a bad shot, and I tried to helicopter my club up the fairway, and I must have held on to it too long, like a hook. And that 9-iron went into the magical forest, and I never saw it again. Right. I had to go on eBay or Amazon and get another 9-iron, but it was, since the club was it's a 1991 Ping Zing 2. Okay. I paid more for the shipping than I did for the golf club. You know what I mean? Like that was embarrassing of how old my clubs were. All right. That's one story. But the other story, the one you really want, is when my clubs were new, and Ping was like top of the line, right?
Sure.
I was down in South Carolina playing with some buddies of mine, and I was not playing well, and I threw my club off the tee box, and it was a driver, and it kind of hooked up in the tree. So I'm like, damn it, I can't get my driver back, right? So I go to the golf cart and I grab another club, like a 3-iron, and I throw that up, and that stays in the tree. Billy, at one point, I had 7 clubs up in this tree. And like, you know, and then the people are backing up on the tee box, like, you know, what's going on? Why aren't these guys out of our way? I had 7 golf clubs in the same tree. And I said, and I vowed from that point on that I would never throw a golf club again. Now, Gil and Howard broke that streak. Well, that's probably been 5 years now, but I do not throw clubs, you know. Now,
better not. We're going to be on the Great Bay Country Club. It's, you know, it's high class. We don't want to be throwing clubs there.
Right. Now,
I won't be asked back.
I'm definitely, I know the best club in my bag, though.
It's the rubber wedge.
It's my lip wedge. I'm going to work you like a rented mule.
Here's the thing. When
you hit bad shots.
When you start shanking the ball and slicing and hooking and everything.
Yeah. No.
What are you, by the way? Are you a slicer or a hooker?
Well, geez, that's a very personal question. For all my life, I've been a slicer, but now since I've been working with Aaron, the good golf swing does have a draw to it, you know? So, yes, quite frankly, when I'm missing, I'm snap hooking them, and that's not good. But.
My game, you can ask Scotty McKay when we go out, I hit the ball straight down the fairway. I just don't hit it far.
So you play old man golf.
So I play old man golf.
Yeah, but here's Scott McKay, I think, is going to be my secret weapon.
Well,
if there's anybody.
He shot a 77 there last time.
No. First of all, I tend to up my game when I'm with somebody that's better than me, okay? Because I want to like.
Which is everybody. But you went out last week and shot a 111. And that guy, I'm sure whoever you play was better than you.
You have no idea.
I'm just trying to psych you out.
This is what I know. McKay irks you. He's going to rattle you in some way, and he knows that's Scott McKay, Scooter.
Well, I'll have the tee to green. I'll have Tommy Green with me.
What's Tommy Green going to do? Throw a no-hitter? Tommy Green's not going to help you.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not going to help you in any way. What's going to help me is that McKay is going to bother you, and that's at least worth 2 strokes.
Don't count on it. We're going head-to-head, Pete.
All right.
So here's what we're going to do. For people that, if they pick you, when they can text in 609-403-0973, and of course, all next week during the weekend shows, we'll give this out. Either pick me or Pete, and we'll keep the list. And whoever wins, we'll send a ESPN T-shirt.
Team Thompson is easy to spell. Team Schweim, they're like, what? How do I do that?
Can't wait. Great Bay Country Club will be broadcasted live on Saturday, October 30th. From 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and then we'll be teeing off.
We might have to simplify it to Team Billy and Team Pete.
Team Billy and Team Pete.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it was another joyous 2 hours here in the locker room with you. Pick up that sweat sock, please.
The time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it, Pete?
Is that what this was?
I think so.
Nah, I'm kidding. It was fun.
Yeah, we always have fun.
My favorite part was when that guy texted in that you had a face for radio. I loved that.
Thanks to Scott Grayson. Of course, you catch Scotty Grayson tonight with Sports Sunday on Fox 29. You catch him Monday with Mike Gill, Grayson's Grades. Thanks to fantasy football guru Brian Hartley. And, of course, Pete Thompson.
You're welcome.
We have a great time. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. Have a great NFL day today, Sunday. We'll see you next week.